I've watched a lot of messed up horror movies over the years, but this one is different. Not because it's shocking, which it is, but because it's believable. Strip away the insanity, and what you're left with is something way too real. What's up, freaks? Welcome to The Laughing Dead, your new favorite hotspot for drug-induced insanity. Tonight, we have a nearly unknown B-horror nightmare, a bizarre and disturbing film that's so bad, it's actually kind of good. The Jackhammer Massacre was released straight to DVD in 2004. Written and directed by a little-known director named Joe Castro, a guy who's mostly known for utilizing tiny budgets to produce ghastly practical effects. And this one's no different. This film had such an infinitesimal budget, it's not even disclosed online. I guess they were embarrassed or something, I don't know. But either way, it's a little-known horror treat, so get ready for a wild ride, because we're jumping right in. The movie follows Jack Magnus, a successful businessman who has it all. Jack has the respect of his peers, a great paying job, and a badass Dodge Viper. At the end of a hard day's work, Jack decides he's gonna pay a visit to his old buddy from high school, this loser named Mike. Mike is the kind of guy who does his curls wearing blue jeans, on the porch, next to his bong, and after his super classy girlfriend, who's clearly the man of the house, by the way.
Well, how about getting a goddamn job and contributing something else to this relationship besides your
When she kicks his ass to the curb, he convinces Jack to drive him to the shady neighborhood dealer. They show up, banging on the door at Max's house, and it's answered by this chick, who looks, well, less than okay. And I'm not sure if she's even supposed to be on set. She's unnamed, uncredited, and nearly unconscious. She wanders aimlessly off into the world, but I'm sure she's fine. At least I hope she's fine. Anyways, Max finally pops up and invites the pair in. The dwelling is dim and surely smells worse than we can even imagine. Splayed out on the couch, we meet Veronica, played by adult film star Rachel Rotten. Fun fact, her and her husband Rob, that's the guy playing Max, were trailblazers in the early days of, let's say, amateur internet productions.
You guys can't be late for school! That principal will get all mad!
So fight the urge to look that up. After some small talk, the exchange is made, and the scene goes from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye. They're tearing through that shit like there's no tomorrow. And for one of them, there's not. Before long, Mike is looking pretty. His body's rife with poison. His brain begins to shut down. And when Max sees him seasoned, his true character shines through.
Get the fuck out now! Get out! Get him out of here!
What do you expect? Help from the neighbors? Jack is in a total panic. He tries to call for help, but his paranoia won't let him think straight. In his drug-addled state, he watches his best friend die and leaves him laying in the street like garbage.
Thousands of tears later.
Fast forward a year and Jack's life is in the gutter. He's traded his sweet Viper for a mountain bike, his business attire for the filthy uniform of the homeless. He wanders the park, digging in the trash for food and anything of value. A disgusting testament to how far Jack has fallen. Later that night, Jack shows up to Roger's house. You see, Roger's a small-time dealer who would fit right in on the Jersey Shore. And our friend Jack here has accrued a hefty debt in Roger's books. And you know the best way to handle a potentially dangerous criminal to whom you owe money? Lie to him and take more credit. It's the American way. And it works for the moment. Jack gets what he wants. Not that he needed it. The dose sends him spinning. He pukes all over Roger's bathroom and briefly hallucinates his old buddy Mike in the mirror. Oh, hey Mike, good to see you, bud. How's it going?
You're my best friend, and you let me die.
Man, Mike kinda sucks. Roger sends Jack off with a warning. After a long day in the life of a fiend, it's time for Jack to retire to his humble abode, or at least a dirty mattress on the floor of a closed-down machine shop. You know, whatever works. But Jack isn't ready for bed just yet. He's gotta do what Jack does. You know, drugs.
Oh, yeah.
And I gotta say, this is one of the standout scenes in this movie, for fans of body horror at least. And it's likely gonna be a bit much, you know, for everyone else. So he goes in the bathroom and begins unwrapping that bandage on his arm. And yeah, whatever's going on under there is way past the point of saving. It's so gnarly, I doubt YouTube will even let me describe how rank this is, man. The dude needs a hospital, and I wouldn't be shocked if he came out looking like the prepper guy on The Simpsons.
God closes a door, he opens a gun shop.
So naturally, his solution? A little cleanup. Rinse it off next to the toilet. And with no better plan, he uses anyway. For some, it might be hard to believe, and I would call bullshit myself, except I've known a couple people like this back in the bad old days. You would think something like a shockingly bad infection would be a wake-up call, but some people they just rot away. That dose hits Jack like a Mack truck. He's thrown deeper into paranoia, trapped in a nightmare of his mind's own creation. Have you guys ever seen those crazy people in the city, like running aimlessly, talking to some unknown person behind their backs and wondered, like, what the hell are they seeing? Well, here you go. You're welcome. In his delirium, Jack calls his sister Corey to beg her for money. He tells her Roger's a bad mamma jamma and he means business, baby. She hangs up on him, but it sits with her. His sister's a bit worried. And have you guys ever heard the saying,
just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean people aren't following me?
Well, Jack is the poster child, because just a short while later, Roger turns up at the machine shop and he's looking to collect. Jack is napping when Roger and his sidekick spring on him. They rough him up, squeezing him for anything valuable, but Jack is basically destitute. So Roger hits him with a cocktail of substances so potent, so nasty, there's no way he survives. But survive he does. And what transpires serves as a turning point in the film. You see, up to this point, we've been showing a low-rent anti-drug doc, basically a dare production showcasing the brutal reality of addiction. But when Jack picks up his trusty hammer, the bit hits the fan. Roger gets hammered right in the kisser, and his sidekick, well, he gets interrogated by Detective Twacky.
Who sent you? How many more are coming? I can't see!
And then gets the hammer too. From this point forward, the movie goes full psychedelic slasher. The ghost of Mike serves as the devil on Jack's shoulder, and when Jack kills, Mike is thrilled.
All right.
Before you know it, Jack's sister arrives with her girlfriend. She just wants to help, but Jack, he can't be saved. He locks her in the closet, and the girlfriend, well, she gets it worse than anyone. What the heck, man? And it only gets worse. People keep showing up to the machine shop like the cattle meme. The owner, Boris, hammer. The guy he sold the place to, hammer. An inexplicably shirtless guy. You guessed it.
Stop! Hammer time!
And when Jack ain't killing, he's tripping balls. Horrific visions of armed invaders and terrifying monsters. Somehow he makes it through the night alive. And the next day, a whole van full of movers arrived to clean the place out. They were hired by Jackhammer victim number 4? The guy who bought the machine shop. Well, they pile into the shop like lambs to the slaughter. Jack, being the master of concealment that he is, goes unnoticed by the crew, and one by one they're picked off. Besides some very questionable magazines, they only find sickness and death. See, when Jack killed Roger, he inherited his entire stash. And Jack's nothing if not a generous man. He goes on a spree dosing anyone within arm's reach, rendering his victims useless under the power of his poison.
I'm not okay.
Before long, we're left with only one, triggering the clumsy final girl trope. Jack chases her all over the property, defying the laws of extension cords. The chase finally leads him to the roof, and the unthinkable happens. Finally? What the hell, man? That shit's been bugging me the entire movie. This is why there aren't many jackhammers in horror. Anyways, back to the rooftop. Jack is just about to dispatch with the mover girl, when out pops Jack's sister, Corey. Remember her? She shoves Jack off the roof, ending his reign of terror. Corey and the mover girl bail, presumably to shop for Doc Martens, when out jumps Jack in a shameless, stupid ending. Final thoughts. Jackhammer Massacre is a unique B-horror piece that serves both as a cautionary tale and an accidental comedy. A rare piece of Americana that's been all but forgotten. And while it's definitely tuned to a very specific palette, it's one that at worst is worth a laugh, and at best is a blood-soaked practical effects bonanza. And for that, we can all be thankful. If you had a good time tonight, hit that like button and subscribe for more unknown B-horror acid trips. Keep them creepy flicks rolling, and remember, if you laugh when others scream, you found your home. This has been The Laughing Dead. Thanks for stopping by.